to the NBI. Last year, during our deliberation, I recall realigning the amount of 20 million pesos to augment their intelligence and confidential expenses. And this year, under the NEP, balik uli sila sa 2016 level or 2017 level, NEP 2017 level. Now, I'd like to find out from the NBI, how did they use the 20 million augmentation? Has it been used put into good use, Mr. President? Yung specific, wag yung rhetoric sagot, Mr.
Hindi,
President.
mahaba po ito. Maganda.
Okay.
The NBI's utilization.
I'm asking because that should motivate me to introduce amendment
Opo.
In the 2018.
Ganito dapat ang ahensya.
Yes.
Tinatanong pa lang, nandito na yung sagot. Hindi lahat ng aking back staff ganito eh. Magaling. Okay. Ginamit po nila ang utilization of the confidential fund includes the following. Case build-up, law enforcement operation involving the development of a criminal or intelligence-related case based on reliable information, etc. Case operations plan, the COPLAN, the operational stage of law enforcement involving the following operational requirements: recasing, surveillance, search warrant, operational logistical planning, mobilization of resources, operational briefing, etc. Funding of priority anti-crime operations in the anti-drug campaign, anti-environmental crimes, anti-graft and corruption, anti-cybercrime, anti-violence against women and children, anti-piracy, anti-human trafficking, anti-criminality drive, strengthening NBI information collection and processing. I'm just reading the titles,
Okay.
but there's a
Mr.
very
President.
comprehensive. So in short, Mr. President, this has been very useful, the utilization of the confidential fund. And then they also have a long highlights of their accomplishment.
Mr. President, without jeopardizing current and ongoing intelligence and counterintelligence operations, can we be more specific on the accomplishments?
On illegal drugs and other substances, July 2016 to July 31, 2017, the operations of the various units and divisions of the Bureau have resulted in the seizure of a large volume of shabu, 1,439 kilos, with an estimated street value of more than 10.6
I'm
billion.
sorry, Mr. President, the period covered should be between or from January 2017, the start of the fiscal year, to December 2017.
Yes, but this is their accomplishment for the whole year from the time of the Duterte administration. But I know what you're asking is the accomplishment for the utilization of the confidential funds.
Yes, Mr. President.
There are two reports here, Mr. President.
Kindly submit to our office na lang.
I
so we can
read
save
to
time.
you just the titles of the numbers for the utilization of the confidential fund. What I am reading now are the highlights of the one-year accomplishment of the Bureau. Yes, we will give you a copy, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Their accomplishments include anti-illegal drugs, proliferation of counterfeit products, on cyber crime, on human trafficking, which is our law, campaign against graft and corruption, on anti-terrorism, clearance processing. We will give you a copy.
Okay, Mr. President, at the proper time, will you be amenable to another augmentation of 20 million pesos?
Will they be amenable to an increase in the budget?
Of their intelligence and confidential...
They will have to think about it, whether they can.
Thank you, Mr. President. My next question is concerning Solgen.
Office of Solicitor.
Yes. Since July 1, 2016, has the government lost a case to the Supreme Court?
Not yet, Mr.
Wala pang
President.
talo. And the latest I heard from the news is one that involves one of our colleagues, yung kaso ni Senator De Lima. And I think, I would like to think that this is a significant case because this is now part of the country's jurisprudence. Why? Because it doesn't matter anymore kung anong salary grade as long as the offense is a violation of 9165, then the original jurisdiction should be with the DOJ and the RTC. So, and this is a favorite topic of the majority leader because he's the leading advocate of the government's fight against illegal drugs. So let this serve as a warning to even high government officials na maski salary grade, above salary grade 27, pagka 9165, ang bagsak mo sa RTC at hindi sa Sandigan Bayan. The last point I'd like to take up with the sponsor is yung sa immigration. Last year, I also introduced an amendment for the use of their income because they're planning to construct their own building somewhere in Macapagal Avenue.
No, in fact, your amendment for the building capital outlay was granted in the amendments.
Unfortunately, it was vetoed by the President because we introduced a special provision on the use of income. I think it's a policy of DBM. No, now, Mr. President, I'm thinking of just realigning funds. I think it's 580 million for the first phase, no? For phase 1 of the building construction. May I just... Wala, nabito yan, nabito. Use of income. So now I'm thinking if, again, if you will agree, to just realign vetoed. Purpose of the use of income is to construct the building. Never mind, Mr. President. Anyway, we learned from that lesson. So now, we're thinking of introducing an amendment to realign some funds, no, to the DPWH to construct the first phase of their building. Then probably, if we align the amount of, say, 580 million...
From where, Mr. President?
From the DPWH budget. There's a lot to be realigned from DPWH. You and I know that,
Yes.
Mr. President. So
the DPWH will build the immigration building?
yes.
And will you lodge it in the DPWH budget for
Yes,
immigration?
Mr. President.
You'd earmark it in DPWH?
DPWH budget, but specifically for an item described as construction of the building for the Bureau of
Okay.
Immigration.
I will
Because
leave
they
it-
have a lot.
Yes.
They have a real estate property, and COA is already questioning them for not utilizing that piece of property as their to construct their own office. So if you're amenable at the proper time, again, I'll introduce that amendment.
I have a note here. BI coordinated with Secretary Villar if we can request the inclusion of a budget for the construction of a new BI building in Macapagal. Cost is 2.3 billion. It's a multi-year obligation agreement. DPWH to construct. Yes.
We just
It's
need
been
DPWH to sign off. No? And if they do, then I'll introduce that amendment.
DPWH, but it will be an amendment to the DPWH budget earmarked in their budget for the building.
That is correct.
I will be happy to.
Thank you, Mr. President. That's all. That's all, Mr. President.
Thank you, our Vice Chair. So they will have, based on the amendment of Senator Lacson, the DPWH building of BI and the amendment of the Majority Leader on the use of income for the
BI Express Lane charges.
of Senator Villar or Secretary Villar.
May we now recognize
Hindi.
the minority leader, Mr. President.
Okay.